Welcome to the 5 More Minutes podcast with Shelly Moore.
Hello, happy June. We made it, teachers. Well, almost, like a week left, maybe 2 weeks. I know that some places in the States, you are done. So congratulations, enjoy the sun. So, hey everybody, welcome back. Let's see. So today I'm so excited because, if you remember, November, we had a letter from a student who, went skiing with her classmates. Her name is Megan. So I have her on the podcast today. And I got some really great feedback from you on our last podcast that was kind of like really quick. That was in the Okanagan. And let's see what else is happening. I was re-listening to some of the podcasts and I realized that the podcast before last, I was still moving, like I was packing, moving. And now I'm so happy to say that like I am sitting here recording in my office in my new home on Bowen Island. So if you don't know where Bowen Island is, definitely look it up because it's so cute. And I was visiting my cousins. Remember when I went to New York and visited my cousins, and they have in New Jersey, and they have a big map of North America on the wall. And so I was showing my cousin Anthony, who has never been to this Western Canada area. And he's just like, where's your home, or whatever. And I look, and there's this little tiny little dot on the very, very top of his map. And I'm like, you see that little speck? That is where I live. And he's like, oh, wow. He's like, I didn't even know that was a place. So we're so excited to finally be here. The thing that's really interesting, though, is that I've never lived in a house before, and I've never really had a yard before. And so let me tell you, when you're from Alberta, the only really thing that grows is dandelions. But here in BC, it's like a rainforest. And so every day there's a new plant popping up. And it's kind of like the jungle. It's like wild. The nature's going wild. There was one plant that popped up the other day, and I was just like, Jessica, what is that? It looks like an alien. Oh, that's my dog. Hi, Ruthie. And I'm like, what is that? And our friend came over, Missy, and so she did that like app that points to it because it seriously looked like an alien. She's like, oh, that's called Cowboys toilet paper. And I was like, what? Are you kidding me? But it's so then because I don't like to touch anything because in case it's poisonous, because you never know. And so once I realized it wasn't poisonous, I went over and I felt the Cowboy toilet paper leaves, and they're so soft. So go Google Cowboy toilet paper because we have 2 giant Cowboy toilet paper plants in our yard that look like aliens. And there's so many other things. Like I can't even believe the nature that's happening. You know, I'll show you. It's a jungle. I feel like I need a sword to walk through my yard. So we are definitely enjoying it. I'm excited for the last couple days of work to wrap up so I can spend a few more days here. And just my plan this summer is to dig in and do my PhD research that, is there. This week, though, I get to go to Yellowknife, and the exciting thing about Yellowknife is that this is the week of summer solstice, or the summer solstice party, and so Yellowknife is so far north that this is when they get 24 hours of sunlight. So Courtney emailed me. She's like, make sure you bring a sleeping mask because it is like daylight. And so I've never experienced this, so I'm so excited. So I will post some photos of that when I go. I leave tonight and land at midnight, and it'll look like the day. So weird, but amazing. So I will keep you posted on that. Okay, I really need to figure out how to turn off those beeps. Okay, so we are here. We are with Megan. So Megan, just as a little recap, the last 5 More Minute video that was released was called United, and that came from Megan. She created a mouth painting, and because she had watched the video with the dots, and she created this mouth painting, and on the back it said, the next evolution of inclusion is united, and united means when we all become part of each other and help each other, and it just like blew me away. So if you haven't seen that video, it kind of tells a story about that a little bit more. But I've been wanting to get Megan on this podcast for a long time because of the letter the email that she had written to me in the fall. And if you don't remember that story, what happened was Miss Cattell, Shelly Cattell, the resource teacher, came up to me at a workshop one day, and she's like, hey, Shelly, I have a question for you. We have a student who's coming into grade 7, and usually we do a really big like community building grade 7 activity. But the activities that we do, I'm just not sure how successful Megan will be, because often they're like really physical activities. And if you know Megan is in a full chair and needs a physical support. And so she was like, like, what do we do? Like, Megan has to come, but a lot of the things that we've done, she hasn't been able to do. Like, she's like, I don't know what to do. And so we kind of sat down and we're like, okay, well, what's the goal of the grade 7 retreat, And she's like, well, it's to build community. And we're like, okay, well, if you look at, activities that have been done in the past, those specific activities, like another person had asked me about this in terms of kayaking, like, if a student can't kayak, but everyone else still wants to kayak, like how do you resolve that? And and a lot of these activities often that are planned for field trips, it's not the activity itself that's the goal. Like, I can guarantee you there isn't going to be a goal around kayaking in the curriculum, or really anything specific to a lot of these kind of community building days, because the goal is not curriculum. The goal is around community building and connecting, which, to be fair, is part of our curriculum right now. But you know what I mean, like in terms of like academic content, and and these goals around community building and connection are absolutely just as valid. But often we get kind of trapped into this is what we do, this is what we've done in the past, and people are looking forward to this activity, but in the process we lose track of why we're doing it. And so we kind of sat back, okay, if the goal is to build community, then we have to find an activity that still does that, but actually includes everyone in the community. And Shelly, she's so funny. Shelly Cattell, she like went off on a mission, and she did like a survey of the whole community that they lived in to find activities that could include all the students in grade 7, including and what actually was interesting about it, because what she was really looking for was sporting activities that had adaptive expertise and adapted activities that respond to physical disability. And she found a ski resort, so Mount Baldry in the Okanagan. They're like, yeah, absolutely, you guys can come. We have an adaptive ski program. Megan can absolutely be a part of this. And so they actually designed the community building around the accessibility, which is actually like a really good pressure for communities to say, if you're not open and supportive to the community that's coming, especially in schools, then, it's a little bit of pressure for them to like get, because there is absolutely adaptive expertise in many, many places, but often communities and businesses don't have them. So they all went to Mount Baldry for their adaptive ski supports, and the OT was involved and the parents were involved, and Megan absolutely sure got to go skiing with her peers. And in reflection, the peers and the teachers, they were all just like, it was just the greatest day. Megan doesn't tell the story, but Shelly does, and how there was one student who was really, really scared to go skiing. And Megan says that she was scared too, but after Megan went the first time, she was like, this is the best, and actually started supporting some of her peers to go skiing, which is just such a perfect example of, what we look for when we're actually looking for inclusion. Like, this isn't just about Megan anymore. Like, Megan was supporting her peers and supporting her friends to be included as well. And, I really hats off to the school and this community who kind of took that step back. Because what I'm realizing is, if we only do what's been done and we only stay within the traditional boundaries of what we know, it's very, very hard to be responsive to populations that aren't traditional and, or not even traditional, but historical. Like, as our classrooms become more diverse, sometimes we can't do what we've always been done. And I know there's that quote that says, the most dangerous quote in the English language is we've always done it this way. And I totally agree. And I hear these really great pockets of stories about inclusion, and what I'm realizing about most of them is that they're coming from communities that have given themselves permission to be innovative and to be flexible and to find a new way of doing things. And sometimes that means tearing down a wall, and sometimes that means blowing up a time schedule, and sometimes that means changing the grade 7 retreat. So I thought this was a really, really great example, and I'm super proud of Megan and her community for showing us how it's done. So I'm going to stop talking, though, because I want you to hear from Megan, who is just a delight. And Megan, I know you're listening, so I want to give you a big shout out and a big thank you for spending time with me on this day. Okay, here's Megan. So I'm so excited about this interview that I'm about to have with you, because if you remember back, let's think. I think this was November or so. I had an email from an individual who you may have remembered named Megan, who is a student at an elementary school in the Okanagan, and she told a story about a ski trip. Well, I am very happy to tell you that I have sitting beside me the one and only Megan. Megan, do you want to say hi?
Hello. I'm so excited to be here.
I'm so excited that you're here too. And so we have been trying to set up a date for a long time, and I showed up today, and me and Megan are sitting here with Tim Hortons strawberry milkshakes, and they're so delicious. I have never had one before.
They are new.
They're new.
So buy them all you can.
Buy all of them, absolutely. So Megan is in grade 7. And this is a big year for Megan because she is heading off to high school next year. How do you feel about that?
Scared.
You're scared. I know everyone's scared. Don't worry. So I have some questions for Megan, and I'm going to, kind of turn it over in a minute because I know you can't wait to all hear from her. But Megan, is there anything that you want the world to know about you?
That I'm not just a pretty face. I am smart and capable of achieving my dreams with others.
Yes! Oh my goodness. You're leaving me speechless, honey. And okay, so what else is there? What do you love? So what are some things you love?
Disney movies.
You love Disney movies. Do you have a favorite one?
Frozen.
You love Frozen? You know which one I loved when I was your age? My favorite was The Little Mermaid.
Oh my gosh. Ariel was my favorite princess.
Yeah. I know, I just love her hair. Okay, so now Megan, you've heard of me before.
Yes.
Yes. Now Megan has recently, I realized, subscribed to the 5 More Minutes channel.
I just did.
You just did. Have you seen some of the videos?
I've watched some of the videos and I've heard their podcast when he got my story.
Did you listen to the podcast?
Yes, I did.
Oh, that's so good. So the first time I met you, Megan, and we were just kind of talking about this, was I was actually doing a professional development day with all of your teachers.
Huh.
And then you came in with the choir, and you guys all sang. You all sang in front of us. This beautiful choir.
Yeah.
Do you remember that day?
Oh, yes, I do.
It was so fun. And so, because you probably know about me, you know that one of my favorite things in the whole world is inclusion.
And I also know you like dots.
You're right. I do like the dots. You're absolutely right. So here's my question for you, Megan.
Yes.
Do you know what inclusion means?
Oh, yes.
Yeah? Tell me what it means to you. What does inclusion mean to you?
It means that you don't have to be in a chair to have fun, or you don't have to be too tall to do fun things. You just have to find your own way.
You have to find your own way. I love that. Can you think of a time when you have been inclusive to other people around you?
Oh, yes. Before the school started in grade 6, I remember talking to Miss Kittle, who is here with us.
Do you want to say hi, Miss Kittle? Hi.
She said, "Why don't we do a Glee Club?" And I'm like, "Yeah, that's great."
Yeah, I love the Glee Club.
And we went, as you said, to the board office.
Yeah.
And so in my life, I've been blessed with so many gifts.
Yeah.
I was actually a teeny tiny baby, and I had heart surgery when I was a baby.
Did you?
Yes.
Well, that's pretty.
I am so lucky because people like me sometimes can't talk.
Yeah.
I can.
You sure can.
And my old pediatrician wanted to give me a feeding tube.
Yeah.
But my dad said no, and I'm glad, because otherwise we wouldn't be tasting these lovely milkshakes.
And they are delicious.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Can you think of a time, Megan, when you felt the most included in your life?
Skiing.
Skiing? Tell me what happened.
My first day
Yeah.
I was so scared.
You were so scared.
But after the first run, I went to the top of the hill.
No way.
And I felt so included.
Did you?
I would like to say a quick thank you to my dad,
Yeah.
Miss Gill, Dan, my physician,
Yeah.
and Bryce, the ski instructor.
Oh, yeah. Did they all come together?
Yes.
They all came together.
And after the, if you could send Bryce this message, that would be really appreciated.
Oh, what? Well, should we send this to Bryce? Absolutely. This podcast? I think that's a great idea. Definitely. Absolutely. So how does that feel? Like, how did that feel when that happened?
It felt so good. I felt like I wasn't in a... I always felt like I was nothing more than a wheelchair kid who couldn't do anything. But I found my voice. I found my love for singing and skiing and being adventurous.
Yeah.
And although I wish my friend was here today,
Who's your friend?
Nicole.
Nicole. Is she in your class?
Yes.
Yeah? What do you guys...
She's in my grade.
Okay.
And hopefully on Friday we have a sleepover.
Oh, fun.
And so yeah, it's been pretty good.
Yeah.
I've always invited her to my birthday parties
Yes.
because that's what best friends do.
Absolutely. That's what best friends do.
And I'm afraid I can't go to her parties because her house has too many stairs.
Oh, those stairs, they just get in the way.
Yeah.
Totally.
I think stairs are overrated.
They totally are. I agree.
They're overrated.
They're totally overrated.
So guys, if you see stairs, they're overrated.
You know what? That could be, you know what? Absolutely. Just get rid of all the stairs. Just put in ramps everywhere.
And then he can scooter, he can
Yes.
skateboard.
All the things. You know, I have a friend, his name is Layton, and he always says ramps are good, even for dogs who have a sore hip.
I actually agree.
I totally agree with him too.
Because if a dog is like human.
Yeah.
And some don't have bottom legs.
Yeah, they need support too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So can I ask you another question? Yeah. So part of this kind of the video, I told you about the video, right? Now you made me a painting. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Do you remember what that painting was about?
It was about inclusion.
It was about inclusion. And you said something pretty amazing. Do you remember what you said? You told me, now I have to remember what it said exactly, but you told me that the next step of inclusion is when we are all united.
Yes.
Do you remember that now?
Yes.
Yes, and I loved it so much that I wanted to include it in my video. So I wanted to ask you, what does it mean to be united?
United means that we stand together.
Yeah.
We stand tall for who we are.
Stand tall for who we are.
If we're, for example, I'll give you a great example.
I'm ready for it.
For example, Elton John.
Yeah.
He does music.
Yeah.
And he's gay.
Mm-hmm.
No one else can repeat what Elton John does.
Yeah.
And then there's Robin Williams,
Yeah.
who unfortunately passed away by suicide.
Yeah.
But he was a funny comedian.
He was.
And by the way, the new Aladdin's right around the corner.
Yes.
I don't think it's gonna be as good
The Aladdin?
with new.
Oh, without Robin Williams.
Yeah.
I kind of agree with you. I kind of agree with you.
Okay, guys. If you want to learn more about me,
Yeah.
I will be starting a YouTube channel.
Are you?
I will be calling it OMG.
Yeah.
Oh my Disney. slash DreamWorks.
I love that. That's a great idea.
So I'll take a Disney or DreamWorks movie,
Yeah.
either do lip syncs or conspiracies.
I love that. Did you say conspiracies?
I found this guy
Yeah.
who his name is Isaac.
Yeah.
He does conspiracies. His channel is called Watch So Video,
Yeah.
and he's a funny guy.
Yeah. I think a YouTube channel is a really great idea. I can help you with that. Let's connect about that.
Yes.
Deal? Okay. So I have another question for you. You ready? So one thing that I've really learned from you, Megan, is just like how you said, like how we can all stand proud and stand tall. And when I think of those things, I really think of the word identity and like who we are. So if you were to choose some words or some ideas that talk about who you are as a person, what are some things you would say?
Definitely not handicapped
Oh, tell me more about that.
or disabled,
Yeah?
because I feel everyone is the same.
Yeah.
Even if we're like gay or have mental issues or like me,
Yeah.
I believe that we should all be proud of who we are
Yeah, absolutely.
as individuals and as people.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think, Shelby, I think you look beautiful.
Thank you.
And I know you've done a lot. And I'm super happy because life is like a roller coaster.
It sure is like a roller
And
coaster.
at the end, you know you're proud of it.
Yep.
If someone didn't take that roller coaster with you,
Yeah,
they're missing out.
they totally are.
And I'm excited to it now.
Yes.
That there will actually be an Elton John bibliography called Rocket Man.
Do you love Elton John?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Who doesn't?
I love Elton John, Disney, all those.
Yeah. So I'm hearing a lot of words to describe who you are. I'm hearing proud. I'm hearing strong. I'm hearing brave. All of these incredible ideas of who makes Megan. Is there anything that you hear people say that maybe you don't like to be described as, or you think, no, that's not me?
Special needs. I want to be special because of my talents,
Yeah.
not just because I'm in a chair
Yeah.
for life.
Yeah.
Oh, guys, and
Yeah.
guess what?
What?
In November,
Yeah.
Frozen 2 is coming.
Oh my goodness. Well, that is something to be excited
I will
about.
give you updates on. There's going to be a remake of the Lion King,
I love the Lion King so
and
much.
it's James Earl Jones.
Yep.
He did the first movie.
Yeah.
He's in it again,
Oh, thank
and
goodness.
he's 84.
He's 84 years old.
Yeah,
Good for him.
and Dick Van Dyke. He did Ray Buttons,
Yeah, yeah,
and in the new Ray Buttons,
yeah.
he does a cameo,
That's true.
and he's
Yes, yes,
91.
I honestly
And people,
didn't even realize that he was still
People.
alive.
if Disney,
Yeah,
sometimes you just gotta watch a Disney movie.
it's so true. So you just got to do it. Okay, I have one more question for you. You ready?
Yeah.
Okay. So if you were to give advice, because you're going to high school next year, if you were to give advice to your future teachers and your future new classmates on how to be inclusive and how to be an advocate, what would you say?
Well, I would say just think about the day life. People stop living in the past. And yeah, sure, some people have trouble. I get that. But people should be brave for who they are, not what they think they are. As any, I have and guys, I'm going to throw out a Shakespeare quote.
I'm ready.
If love is music, Play on. I say play on.
Play on. I say play on. I think that is a perfect wrap up to our conversation.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for
Hey.
joining me, Miss Megan.
And guys,
What?
make sure you watch out for lots of new Disney movies. And hey, and in the next podcast,
Yeah.
if you want to give me any tips or
Yeah.
anything to do with my channel,
Yeah.
I'll listen.
Okay.
And yeah,
All right. Megan, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. All right, everyone. That is Shelly and Megan and Miss Kendall signing off. So good, right? Isn't she phenomenal? We could have talked all afternoon if I didn't have to catch a flight. We would have kept talking all afternoon. She's like just wise beyond her years. And so, I took a few takeaways from Megan. She's got some quotes to live by here. I just thought it was so cool that, you can see like she's this fun-spirited, fun-loving, tween, but then in another breath she has these bursts of wisdom that I just think she's so articulate. And I think my favorite quote, and this is I'm going to stick out on Twitter, I am not just a pretty face, I am smart and capable of achieving my dreams. Like, hello, yes you are. I'm so excited to see her go into high school. She is just going to flip that building right upside down. And we got really exciting news that her support teacher is also moving with her. They've had just a phenomenal relationship, and I think it's been really great for both of them and the school to have just such support and possibility thinking. Someone said to me the other day, they're just like, I feel like inclusion is, finding a way to never say no, but instead figuring out the how. And if anyone has shown an example of what that means, like I just think Megan and her family and her peers and her classmates in her school and her teachers have just exactly done that. But yeah, no, I think I totally agree with her. I think that she is blessed with so many gifts, and I think so often she kind of talks about this a little bit too, how people look at Megan and just see a chair and just see this person. She hates the term special needs, and I totally agree with her. We're really trying to move away from that, because it's not what's remarkable about her is not that she's special because she has a disability, and I think we could really learn from her about that, to be special because of her talents, and she's got plenty, and every person I've met does, but often we don't look for the gifts and strengths. And so you all know that I'm a huge advocate for strength-based learning and strength-based planning, and there's a lot of work in British Columbia right now figuring out how we can make individual education plans kind of align with some of those big ideas. Because I just think, the more parents that I talk to, the more just like, I am so tired of going to schools and being reminded of all the things my kids can't do. And I just totally, from my own experience, like that's what I thought about school is I just felt like it was a place where I couldn't do anything. When I was outside of school, that's when I felt successful, because, you find your way, which is the advice that Megan is really sharing with us today is let's find our way and stand up proud and be who we are. I loved her shout out to Elton John. Yay. And, I was a big fan of Disney movies as well, growing up. And so, let's just wrap this up with, just the advice and from Megan, which is sometimes you just gotta watch a Disney movie. So my friends, mid-June, we are almost finished. Stay strong. If we're getting close to the end for summer. I know teachers are all working really hard, and parents, you're working really hard. Everyone's working really hard. Students, it's getting close and it's getting hot. So let's who was it? I was meeting with a friend yesterday, and she's like, just tell yourself we can all do hard things, and we can. And so let's go through here. I do have one more video strategy coming out next week that aligns actually with the video that I didn't get a chance to because the recording equipment is stolen, as you know. But we're going to do a backwards design or a student profile. I haven't decided yet, but we'll figure it out. So stay tuned for that. I hope you enjoyed the podcast today. Definitely email me if you have any questions or connections or stories connected to this episode. And, let's just enjoy the week, you guys. We'll see you soon.
Thanks for listening to the 5 More Minutes podcast. You can find 5 more minutes on on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and on the 5moreminutes.com.